Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen, and today's video is dedicated to show you how you can do corrections for extra credit on a quiz or test. So we just finished taking a test, and I know a lot of you guys want extra credit, or you were asking about redos. This is how you can get extra credit for these tests, and this works for any test and any skills quiz. So let me show you how to do that. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the test in question. Okay, this test was found in week 5.
Liberato to the front office.
If we go to the Friday folder, you can see that I uploaded a version of the test there. In fact, here is the test, and you can actually see each of the questions. So there's number 1, all the way down. All the way down to number 10. All right. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know that you can go into the Schoology folder, as I'm going to do right now again, just so that I can have multiple windows open here. And you can go to the test, and you can go to your actual submission and see which ones you got wrong. And by now, you guys should be able to see which ones you got wrong, and also what is the right answer. In other words, as you're looking at your test, you should know by now what the right answer is, because I give you the right answer. So the question that becomes, why would I do corrections when I already have the right answer? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you need to show me how to get that right answer. What do I need? Well, firstly, I need you guys all to take out a sheet of paper. Take out a sheet of paper and title it whatever corrections you're going to do. In this case, we're doing Unit 4 test corrections. All right, Unit 4 test corrections. If this was a skills quiz, you would say skills quiz 3 corrections. If this was some other test, you would title it whatever it's called. But ladies and gentlemen, it must have these elements. It must have the title, and it must say corrections, so that are what I'm looking at. You must include your name. Obviously, my name is Josue Lugo, Mr. Lugo, and what period you're in. That is very important. All right, so again, you must title it correctly. In this case, it must say Unit 4 test corrections, because that's the one that we're doing. Make sure it says corrections. You must write your name, and it must have the period that you are in. Next, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to number only the ones that you got wrong. So let's suppose that I got numbers 1, numbers 8, and number 10 incorrect. So those are the ones that I'm going to put here. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that this is legible. It must be as legible as possible, because I will be physically checking these to see if you know how to get from the problem to the right answer. All right. So let's suppose that I got number 1 wrong. So let me go back to the test. Let me go back to the test, and let's look at number 1 here. Now, number 1, I know the answer is D. All right. Let's suppose that I got it wrong, but I know the answer is D because on the test, it tells me that D is the right answer. All right, so how can I get credit if I want to do these corrections? Well, you must show me the work necessary to get that right answer. Now, this one's a bit of a tricky one. So in questions where you have a lot of doubt, you're not really sure how to show your work, just rewrite the problem, basically. Okay, so we need a number line. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually go back to my paper. And the way that I would show my work for number 1 is I would actually draw a number line. Again, just show me as much as possible. Again, you're trying to earn these points back, and you have to show me that you deserve those points back. So I'm going to draw a number line. And on that number line, I'm going to start with on 0. Let me go -1, 2, 3, 4. So that's -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10, -11, and -12. And I see a picture where it goes -4. We have another -4 and then -4. Notice how I'm showing my work. And each time it's hopping -4, -4, -4. Now I know the answer is D, so I'm going to put the answer, but I'm going to show that we're doing -4 times 3. Now that's pretty simple, but just by showing me this, ladies and gentlemen, I can see what you're thinking. You're showing me why the answer is D. You didn't just write down D, that's the answer. If you don't show me answers, I'm not going to give you credit. I must also see your work. Let's go to a different one. Okay, so let's suppose that you did number 1. Now let's go to number 8. Number 8 is over here. So let me go down to number 8. And let's suppose that here's number 8, and the answer, I believe, was H, -5. All right. Now it says here that we must find the sum. So I need to add all these together. Let's suppose that you think, well, Mr. Lugo, I don't really know how to get that answer. Then you need to get some help. I don't care if you get help for corrections. I just care that you show me the right work. So yes, your parents can help you. Yes, even I will help you, but you must show me the right work. So we have 7, 0, -4, 2, and -10. 7, 0, -4, 2, and -10. So we have these numbers right here. 7, 0, -4. 7, 0, -4, 2, and -10. 2 and -10. So however it is that you can add these to get the right answer, show me how you do it. Let's say that you add one at a time. Let's say you should do 7 plus 0, and that is 7. Good. Now 7 plus -4. Different signs. So I'm going to subtract them so I can do 7 minus 4. That's going to be 3. Okay, so now we have 3 plus 2. Notice that I'm just going one number at a time. That's 5. And then finally, 5 plus -10. And I know that they have different signs, so subtracting 10 minus 5 is -5. So the answer is H, and you show me H. Notice how I showed my work. Now, there's different ways of doing this problem, as long as you show your work. Let's say that you added all the positives and then all the negatives and then subtracted them. So here we have 7 plus 0, that's 7 plus 2, that's going to be 9. And then over here you have -4 plus -10, that would be -14. And now I can do -14 plus 9. Even though I'm adding, they have different signs, so I subtract them, and that should give me -5. Again, I get the same answer. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that the work makes sense. If you do not show me all your work, if you just give me an answer, or if your work does not make sense, then I'm not going to give you credit. Okay? Let's suppose that you have to do number 10 too. Same thing, make sure that your work makes sense. Once you do this, once you write this down, you turn this into me, I will grade it. I will physically sit there and make sure that the work makes sense. And for every question, I will give you half the credit back. What do I mean by that? Well, this test had 10 questions, meaning that each question was worth 10 points. So if I missed 3, that means that it was -10, -10, -10. That means I got a 70, because 100 minus 30 is a 70. But for each of these, I would give you, if you didn't correctly, +5 points, because that's half of the score. So I'll give you +5, +5, +5. So that's +15. So your final score would be something like 70 plus 15. So you would get, it's like if you got an 85. Okay, that's not what it's going to look like on the report card, but it would be as if you got an 85 instead of getting a 70, which that's much better. We can talk about the grade more later, but make sure that you do the work correctly. That way you can receive credit for your corrections and get extra credit back for any test or skills quiz that we have in the future. If you have any more questions, we can talk about it later. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you next time. Oops.